Prajna strategist, spiritual and mental health coach, Amazon #1 best-selling author. Over the last 30 years, I've been coaching people to navigate their life skillfully, to live life successfully. In these 30 years, I've developed a MES-Q methodology, which helps people handle their mental, emotional, and spiritual quotient effectively so that whatever challenges they have in their life, they can deal with it properly. This was pre-COVID. Now, post-COVID, a lot of changes have happened in the mental psyche of people, and I'm doing a PhD in this area itself, in the MES-Q methodology. And to take this study further, I have a very intriguing person over here, a very fantastic and fabulous lady over here who has just undergone a transformational process for herself, and she is none other than Namrata Thakker. Namrata, welcome.
Thank you, Leena, for such a wonderful introduction. Thank you.
It's my pleasure. मैं तो अभी introduce करना शुरू करूँगी. तो Namrata is the founder of Entrepreneur Excel, which is a global community connecting over 70,000 people from all walks of life and mostly entrepreneurs. Over the last 25 years, she has the experience of working as a trainer, supporting clients and companies alike in sustainable change and in the areas of systemic dynamics, human-centeredness approaches, communication, creativity, public speaking, soft skill training, and she works with people individually and collectively in the lower, upper, and middle level people. And recently, the reason for me contacting Namrata is because Namrata, you have undergone or you have gone on a journey which is a solo journey, and it is across continents, I believe. And I want to know more about this journey, preferably from the aspect of your motivation and what was your mental makeup when you decided to go on this journey, what was your emotional makeup when during this period, and what was the spiritual journey which you undertook. So Namrata, tell us about your wanderings and this journey.
Yeah, I would love to share this. It was, I realized it after coming back that more than mental, it was my spiritual journey which evolved and which drove me to go for a solo trip. For everyone, like when you say different stages of life, we have different friends, and today, even if that friends are near us, we are not that connected to that friend which we were before 20 years or before 10 years. So I learned it that our journey is about ourselves. Everyone is not equipped to that growth speed. What we are going through, and if they don't grow, they automatically fall out. So I have had so many such experience, like people who have been close to me for 25 years and been together day and night and suddenly falling apart. And I'm like, what the hell is happening? Then I realized, oh my God, I am growing too fast and I'm doing 40 janams work in one janam. That's what I see myself, that is the speed of my learning. I'm a constant learner. I have a quest to learn and understand life. And when I learned about letting go techniques and spirituality, especially when my both daughters got married and moved out of the house, and when me and my husband alone in house thinking that are ab kya karna hai, and when he had a long trip to go, so I thought, let me explore myself than sitting at home alone and being, I didn't want, because lots of my friends come to me for help that अरे मेरा बच्चा 12th के बाद चला गया, there is a vacuum in my life, ये vacuum को हम कैसे fill करें. And they come and tell me, yesterday only one of them told me that your one sentence, Namrata, changed my life. And when I counsel or tell them that okay, bache, our children are through you, they are not for you, or we have given them right values and right roots, give them wings to fly. So I realized in that whole episode that the best gift we can give to our children is that my parents are happy. I don't have to worry about them. They don't have to sit and worry thinking that, "Arey, mummy akeli hogi, aaj mujhe phone karna hai." No. They know that mummy is happy. She's busy in her own world, and she is so busy that she doesn't have time to call us up also. So when you reach that stage, I felt that was real liberation. And when I started exploring the solo travel, I just had my going ticket and coming ticket. That was, I knew the destination which I was going was Vienna and coming back was Milano. So in between, I had kept it totally open. Like, suppose if I like one place and if I want to stay there for long, or, somewhere I don't want to stay. And, of course, I did a lot of goof up and mistakes by paying some stupid extra money, or, I didn't need to come back there. And also, there were lots of learning in that whole journey. But then metamorphically, I connect that, okay, this is how life is. That I had plan A, but plan B happened. Now B happened. Now how to, make the best out of this. So it was wonderful experience.
Fantastic. So I'm feeling myself in your shoes and undergoing all these things that you went through. So I want to break it down a little bit further. So what is the tipping point for you was कि आपके बच्चे, your children went wherever they had to go. Your spouse had to travel, and you were left with a space where you had nothing to do, and you decided, you made a choice. Okay, you want to spend your this free time in a way that you enjoy and that you want to explore, and you feel that it will bring about growth for you. So this was the tipping point in your life, and you decided to make the most of it. Normally my clients, they would say that mere paas kuch bhi nahi hai, the children have flown the nest, and we are married and there's nothing to do, so they sit at home and they mope over the days that went by. But अभी के लिए वो प्लानिंग नहीं करते. तो आपने जो you saw an opportunity over there, that to use it for your benefit and for your enjoyment, for your self growth, and you took that opportunity, and then you decided that solo, you must have had many options कि इस दरमियान आपको क्या करना है, and from all the options you said कि आपको solo travel करना है.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, okay, spiritual growth we'll talk about later, but mentally, what preparation did you have to do to undertake this journey? वो बताइए.
Yeah, so mentally, though people think that I have a big community and I'm a very extrovert, but after doing a psychological assessment, I found out mentally that I am an introvert. Like, I'm a selective extrovert, which no one believes, even if I tell someone like kya baat kar rahi hai, but it's a fact that I am an introvert. And when you go with someone, 5 group of friends or 4, which I have done a lot, you have to go according to them. Sometimes you have to sacrifice your choices, or I'm not a party person. I would like to have one-on-one coffee with the person and know a person rather than me reading a book, the live examples. So my choices are totally different. And as I told you, as I evolve, my set of friends have also kept on changing. So what happened was, mentally, when I and my husband also, when we went for holidays, his choices were totally different. He would like to be in jacuzzi with his drink, and when this year 22 has been a total travel year for me. When we were on a Royal Caribbean cruise, though I was with him, I told myself that time also that if he is not joining me for all the activities in the cruise or whatever it is, I'm going to enjoy as a solo traveler. So it started with that 10 days that every activity in the cruise I participated, woman pampering event and tummy event and jumping and all. So that time he was there, but not with me. He was enjoying his whatever activities he enjoyed, which was his drinks, his jacuzzis, his casinos, and I was enjoying my activity. So that time also I was like a solo traveler in a cruise with him. And so I enjoyed meeting a lot of people, made so many friends in that cruise, out of the 6,000 people in that cruise, and learned so much about the local culture, whether it was Mexico or whether it was Bahamas, to go to their level, understand their struggles and their stories. So I met so many such interesting people. After that, mentally I prepared that, yeah, I can go alone. If in cruise I can do this and make such good connections, why not go to a long Europe trip? So that's how it all started.
Okay, so on that cruise ship, you had already decided that you're going to go on a solo trip.
Yeah, to know myself more, that what I like, and I can consciously choose without hurting anyone. Or if you're with someone, you have to do, if they want to do laundry and if you don't want to do, or if they want to eat a particular cuisine, there are so many choices. So when you
Right,
make
right.
that choice, whether it's food or whether it's sightseeing, when you're out abroad, there's so many choices. So if you want to go with your own choice and know yourself more, that was my first intention, Leena, to go for the solo trip, that khud ko pehchano. So that was the mental push I got. Ke chalo. And it was very sudden. Like, it was not that I decided that I'm going to go. I decided 1 week before and I went. And then when people started knowing, when I started posting every single day, I have put reels wherever I was in this whole year of travel. I've made reels a night without fail. Every night I've made reels for me to keep a record that where I went and I don't forget. And I have, created memories for myself and my learnings every night.
How wonderful. And the जो mental जो makeup था आपका, that kind of looks like it evolved over a period के your decision to go on a solo trip kept on getting firmer and firmer, and it is intriguing. And this is what women do, is that they give their whole lives to their families, and then they are like, मैं कहाँ हूँ, who am I? They're left with wondering, okay, at the end of the day, who am I? And a lot of people, even men, go through that, even children go through that. They go through their lifetimes not knowing that who they are, and there's no realization also to find out who they are, because everybody's so stuck up or busy, you can say, with making two ends meet, and satisfying their spouses, working for their companies, for their children, bills bharne hai. So in all this, they're just flowing with the life, and in that flow, who am I? That question never arises. And at this point in your life, you have asked yourself this question, you made a concrete decision to find out. I mean, all the people, the 70,000 people who are there in Entrepreneurial Excel, they must be thinking that Namrata Thakker knows herself so well that when she writes, उसमें से ही उनकी रूह क्या है वो पहचानी जा सकती है. But now even you needed to go on your own growth process, and this is the journey that you undertook. Fantastic. So mental तो हो गया, अभी emotional बताइए. What was it like? How did you emotionally prepare yourself, because you were going to be away from your family after a long time? Your daughters were going away, your spouse was going away. Emotionally आपने अपने आप को कैसे prepare किया?
So emotional was the biggest challenge,
Okay.
because I realized that I'm a very sensitive person. Even today, I'm struggling with emotional eating. I spend every day 2 hours in gym or working out, but still, if you don't have control on your food, I do emotional eating. Like, everyone has their own outlet. Some go for alcohol, some for cigarette. For me, food is my emotional outlet.
Okay.
That's what it happens. So I did a lot of therapies and I'm learning to get emotionally balanced. I'm not still there where I want to go,
Okay.
but much better than what I was.
Yes,
So
sure.
work in progress. So emotions was the toughest area for me to work, because in all my life I've taken a lot of drastic roller coaster within a rock the boat in the middle of the sea. So mental decision mere liye bahut easy tha, but I'm a heart oriented person, so all the decision I take with heart. So emotionally I had to tell that, to keep people around me happy, when I learned that self love and keeping myself happy was the first step. So by telling that I don't have to feel guilty, because I was in once upon a time that phase that I used to not even go to gym, and I didn't realize what why I was not doing that, because पहले मैं बहाना करती थी, बच्चों का homework बाकी है, servant नहीं आई है, driver नहीं है, whatever. वो stage आया जब everything was there and I was not going. So when I did a therapy, what you are doing, this therapy was done to me by my very, very dear friend, Pooja Bedi. And she found out that I was, in spite of having everything, I could not go to the gym, which was next door. Was that my conditioning was such that if I invest 1 hour for myself, I'm guilty, I'm not a good wife, I'm not a good mother. That was the background, orthodox background I come from. I'm from a traditional Gujarati family. So, that feeling that, oh, investing 1 hour for myself means I'm not a good wife, I'm not a good mother, I have to give and, be there for them when they need. When I broke that and did affirmations that, yes, I deserve that 1 hour of time for myself, or, I deserve my self-love and my time. And when I started valuing myself and my time, after that day, I never missed gym or working out for one single day.
Wow, wow, wow.
So
Fantastic.
So that's how I'm learning. Even in COVID, I used to go to Jew Beach. We have 200-300 friends group over there in Jew Beach. So even in COVID, I didn't stop going there, or now again back to gym when things have come back to routine. So when I told that it's okay, I can invest that much time of my life to myself. And slowly from that was the first step of emotional transformation, by going 1 hour to gym, then going out alone, for small India trips and all, when I had my sessions all around, then I started traveling alone, and then international travel started. So
Wow,
step by
wonderful.
step by step.
Wonderful. So this has been a journey. So I would like to share with you that emotional quotient is, a range of emotions. Okay, आपका zero पे हो सकता है and it can go up to as much. So
Mhm.
each one of us is born with our own emotional quotient. And like when you do work on yourself, like you are blessed that you realize that you needed to work on yourself. That
Mhm.
you realize there's some hindrance happening and you needed to overcome. And that's when you took the step to approach a therapist, and she helped you to overcome whatever it is. A lot of people don't do that, and that is the main crux of the problem that everybody is facing over here. That they may be aware कि अपना कोई limitations है, but to take the next step to approach a therapist is not heard of. People just don't want to do that because they feel going to a therapist is something that is demeaning. Yeah, what will people say? People will say that she's gone mad or he's gone mad. So better not go. But they will suffer from within, but they will not try to overcome their shortcomings. So kudos to you once again, when you're mentioning that you did go to a therapist to
Mhm.
help you overcome whatever challenge, the emotional challenge you had in your life.
Mhm.
Right. So
Mhm.
coming to the next step
Mhm.
is your spiritual quotient. So what is the spiritual increase that you needed to do to help you get on this trip in the first place?
So spiritual quotient, definitely it is like removing attachment. Like we are so attached to our house, our comfort zone, our area, that okay, how can I let go of all this? My work, how much my work will suffer. Last year only I had 2 startups, and lots of new businesses which I am, and being an entrepreneur, and continuously went to like 5 events per day. That was my schedule. So leaving
Wow.
everything, and I work on making business system and process dependent and not people dependent. So when I tell people to do that, so practically it should be that when I am on holiday, my business should grow. When I am going nothing, because I feel people, entrepreneurs also who do that अरे मेरे बिगाड़ कैसे चलेगा? Every decision in the office they are involved, whether it is to change a bulb or whether it is to sign every checks or removing and employing employees. So when you realize that your business can grow without you, and definitely success of 10% growth. So when you put that system and processes in that place, and when it grows in your absence, so that is also a form of a spiritual growth of letting go.
Yes.
Because most of the time it is the ego of a housewife कि यार मेरा पति मेरे बिना खाएगा नहीं, या मेरे बच्चे मेरे बिना खाएंगे नहीं, या ऑफिस में मेरे बिना चलेगा नहीं. So somewhere of course they are needed to set the system, but वो छोड़ते नहीं है वो हाथ से, that thing they don't want to let go. So that is one thing that I released all my ego, that everyone is replaceable, nothing is going to stop without me. In 1 month world is going to be where it is when I come back.
Right. So the spiritual learning that you had over here is, before you went on the trip, is to let go, not to keep yourself attached to your family, your friends, your business, and to make a process back at home which can operate by itself, not only just successfully, but you're talking about 10% growth. So your businesses are running 10%, and at the same time, you're probably ensuring that your family is also growing 10% in
Yes,
your absence.
yes, absolutely.
So that is a fantastic thing. Now you went on your travel, your trip. You did your own bookings, and you must have encountered a lot of problems.
Yes,
Besides enjoying, the enjoying part is there. The enjoying part is there, yes.
yes.
But when you encountered a situation, then what was your mental makeup when you had to tackle that situation?
So those type of situation also came couple of time. But what I learned about Europe, I'll talk about Europe specifically, not other country, because that is a recent 1 month I had. Anything you ask anyone, they'll say, I don't know. That
Okay.
is the standard answer I was getting wherever I was stuck. And the language also definitely was a barrier. There were hardly English speaking people, but they all, anything you ask, I don't know, I don't know. So I understood one thing, that I have to have an offline map, and I have to have my own ways to find out and do the research beforehand, before going to any sightseeing place and all. So the best thing I found out was that there were novels everywhere in all the cities. So, I used to book novels before. And then, a lot of mistakes I did. Like first, when I went to Vienna, then I started taking day tours, like one day going to Prague, and then I decided to go to Salzburg. Budapest, when I took the tour from Vienna, I could have gone from Budapest straight to Paris. The mistake I did, that I came to Vienna. Then after learning from that mistake, then I never entered another city again. That first 4 days only was learning for me, that I don't need to come back to the destination where I left from. And like from Budapest, then again coming back to Vienna, I took a lot of Eurorail journey. I was very inspired to go by Eurorail. So 3-4 times, and that train broke down, and it was so scary. It got
Really?
yeah, imagine there, and 4 hours of breakdown, and we had to change 2 train and one bus also in between from one station to another. And again, when we asked, when will this train come, when will I reach here, I don't know was the answer from everyone, because they also said these type of things don't happen very often. So
It
there was this.
happens. By the way, it happens. Has happened to me also, the Urail.
Yeah, the Eurorail, it was like severe breakdown. Everyone was made to get down at the platform. 2 hours, there was no train coming. Then we went to one station, then bus from one station to another station they had arranged, and it was like a disaster, because I reached at night 2 o'clock, where I was supposed to reach at by 7-8 in the evening. So that was the delay which occurred. So it was scary that from that station I had to go to hotel at night, and there were all people who were drunk around. So that typical one day was that very scary. After that, I decided, no, I'll go there, and then I'll take the 1 days or whatever tours, and I'll go with that group of people instead of going in solo. So I'll have, guidance also, guide with also me. So after that, I started appointing guides at different, like Vatican City. When I went to the church, I took a guide, so I could understand the culture also more easily, more properly, and they were guiding of the food and cuisine of that place also, and the drinks also, what you get. Look, so that's how it happened. And I became more careful. Our first 4 days was a good learning. After that, I started consciously going to the 1 day tours, people there, guides from here to where, and that's how
Right.
it was a learning.
Right. So you mentioned that you were scared. At some
Yeah,
point, you were scared when you had
yeah,
to, in the middle of the night,
yeah.
drunken people all around. Let's
And not
focus,
getting a cab,
not
and
getting.
not getting a cab, and they told that this app you book and all, and still, it was not available, the cab from our station to hotel. So that was like how to go to the hotel midnight at 1 o'clock, and you can't sit at the station.
Right, right. So the fear aspect of it, let us focus a little bit on the fear aspect of it.
Hmm.
You realized you are in a situation and you had this feeling of being afraid. तो उसको आपने कैसे टैकल किया? The fear aspect of it.
Yeah, I was ignoring those drunkard people who were, trying to talk or whatever. I was not even looking eye to eye with them. And I was trying to stop the cabs outside the station, that, will you take there? Will you, like, Novotel was where I wanted to go, and my bags and everything was in that hotel. So what happened is, like, 3-4 people, again, the confusion there was in that 5 kilometers, there are 2 Novotels. So they tell me that, अरे बाजू में तो है, आप चल के चले जाओ, आपको क्यों जाना है? And it
Hmm.
was showing me that that is 10 minutes walk at night. So
Hmm.
I'm telling that ye Novotel nahi, wo Novotel. Then I understood that there are 5-6 around. So you have to be specific that which area you have to go. So because whoever I take, इधर जाना पता है, इसके लिए तुम क्यों टैक्सी कर रहे हो, like, that just go. So
Right.
that whole part was very confusing, but after 4, 5, 6 cabs, finally one agreed and he dropped me there. So, but that initial half an hour till I got the cab was scary, to see that view outside the station at midnight, that people are just drunk and roaming around. And
Right. So at that point, did you miss your family or did you feel that if somebody was around whom you loved, जो dependency होती है, and that dependency was not available to you, or did you seek guidance from your spiritual guides or your spiritual masters? कि भगवान को pray किया आपने?
I actually seek guidance from the spiritual master only, that कुछ रास्ता बताओ कि इधर से how to get a cab to go, because the app was also not getting me to that cab, and the cabs were just moving, coming. They were there, they were coming, but the people who had long distance, they were going and they were agreeing, but मेरे को बोल रहे आप चल के चले जाओ, इधर ये. That was the answer I was getting. So I think if I didn't think कि उस time मैं किसको याद कर रही थी, but I was telling that I'll be here in the crowd in center, and I will ask God for the wisdom that how to face this situation and how to reach the hotel. It was definitely the spiritual guide, the higher spiritual guide, to guide me to go to the right place.
So Namrata, that's such a beautiful thing that you said, that your spiritual guides and your spiritual masters helped you at that time. And that's probably when you realize that you are all alone in this world. There is no one there who is available to help you. All the people whom you thought you could bank on and call on, nobody's over there. And in this situation, you went and you just connected with your spiritual guides and your spiritual masters, and that is exactly what happens in life, that we try to depend on people ke unke bagair hamara kuch nahi ho sakta, without this person there's nothing in my life, there's no meaning in our lives, especially the young people and those who are connected with a lot of relationships which are not useful, but they hold on to those relationships thinking ke one day they will help us, या कंधा देने के लिए कोई होगा तो अभी निभा लो. But the fact of the matter is that at the end of the day, when there is nobody around to help you, just call upon your spiritual guides and spiritual masters, and they are the ones who are actually helping you even now, and they will be the ones who will be helping you even when you are all alone. So you are never alone, right?
Yes, and there's so many messages you get from the angels, and so many red flags you get for so many things around. So, but just there should be an awareness to see all this and not take it for granted.
Yes.
Now, after doing so many mistakes in so many years, I can clearly see the red flag. Oh, universe sign that this should not be done. This meeting should not be gone ahead, or this place should not be done. Agar cancel be or something, so it's happened for good. Please don't go. So now you start learning to take those spiritual guidance and messages and the red flags in the life.
Right. So this is a beautiful spiritual experience that you have had before and whilst you were over there also. And then you went through your 1 month of traveling here, there, everywhere, and you probably used these MES-Q methodologies, this mental, emotional, and spiritual methodologies, which you have already built yourself up with. And then it was time to come back. So after you came back, what was your growth? What was your transformation? What was your learning?
So after coming back, I did a lot of reflection, and I feel reflection was much needed in my life, because I was always busy, like going here, doing this. So before going, I used to be so busy. After coming back, I plan things not to do. What were the time wasters and what not to do. Like people make to-do list, I make not to-do list every day. And after reflecting, I could make out what were the time wasters and what is actually, needed my attention. So I could segregate that so clearly. And I did some major decisions in my personal and business life after coming back. And I can see the results for it already. Like it's been only 1 month, but I took some drastic change, rocked some boats in the middle of the sea after coming back, seeing that, okay, this is not needed. And those decisions are working so positively, and I'm so happy the way things are going.
Great, great, wonderful. So you were taking decisions even before, you were probably rocking boats even before. तो तभी का और अभी के rocking boat and taking decisions में आपको क्या फर्क लग रहा है?
फर्क ये लग रहा है कि now I'm doing a lot of collaborative ventures, and now I'm doing a lot of things which were not, my time was not required, and investing that time in those things and removing that. And I don't work on my weaknesses anymore. I focus more on my strengths and I give more energy and grow more of my strengths. And I have outsourced all my weaknesses. Like in my businesses, my partners are my weak, means they know my weaknesses numbers and they know my weaknesses due diligence. So, I have totally outsourced my weaknesses and working more on my strengths, and I'm getting amazing results. Initially, I used to think, अरे मुझे ये नहीं आता है, मुझे ये भी सीखना चाहिए, ये भी सीखना चाहिए, वो सब बंद कर दिया. मुझे खुद सीखने की जरूरत नहीं है. जो मैं हूँ उतना ही, let me do only that much and not work on my weaknesses and multiply my strengths even more. That's what I'm doing right now.
Wonderful. So you were a successful businesswoman even before, and still you thought that you need not have done so many things, and your growth, if you were at this level before you left, now you have gone at a higher level in your own growth, because everybody's growth strategy is different, everybody's plan is different, growth strategy. So in your own level, you have overcome your weaknesses, ya bole, you, like you said, you have outsourced your weaknesses and you're working on your own growth. So what is the learning that you would like to share with your entrepreneurial excel members and people around the world?
The biggest takeaway I learned in this solo tour was that any age, whether you're a college student or whether you are in your 20s, 30s, you don't have to wait till 50s to take a solo tour. The faster and the earlier in life we realize that we all have come alone and are going to leave this world alone. No one is going to come with us, or no one came with us. It's only about us and our experiences we are here. So there is always, always, always learnings and experiences. There's never a mistake. So we, whatever has happened was meant to happen in life. When we look back, अरे ये ऐसा करना चाहिए था, ऐसा करना चाहिए था. So just go for it. The only thing is, don't think. People plan solo trip and don't go. 50% of fear will be taken away if you just go. Just leave. And that's what I did. I just decided in 1 week, and before telling anyone, asking anyone, ye karu, nahi karu, just leave, and universe will take care of it so well, and everything will come exactly according to the plan. So just take a decision and leave. That's what
So this is regarding a solo trip ki baat kar rahe ho aap. We started from that point. How would you extrapolate it to other aspects of life?
So other aspects also, life is like, even if it is a right decision, Leena, if it is taken late, it becomes a wrong decision. So right decision has to be taken at right time when it is needed. And it's okay to make a mistake and, to make it as a learning, but it is worse to stay there and not take an action. When you have all the facts and when you weigh all the pros and cons, just take a decision and stand by it. Like Ratan Tata says, that I make a decision and then make it right. So
Yes.
I had no plan of all this, and suddenly I did it. So just made the most out of it, whether it was learning, whether it was, enjoying and posting reels, which I learned. I was never a social media person, but I learned to make reels with different songs, did lots of mistakes. The bigger challenge in this solo trip is that every time you have to ask people to take your pictures and, others. So most of the time the pictures were only of the monuments and things around me, taking from a tram or a bus or a flight. So that was one challenge. You always need someone to take picture around, and just post and share and preserve and treasure those memories. So when you look back, you look with memories and not with regrets. So
absolutely. So as a businesswoman, would you use these same strategies in business also? You just go for it.
I am very calculated in the risk. Like out of 10 proposals which we get, we just take one or two. So no, in business, I would say you have to take a very selective and calculated risk, especially the field what I am. Like we are investing in a lot of startups, and so in MSME there is no thumb rule. Everything, there is always a deviation in all the rules and all the businesses. So we have to understand, study the strategy, and I take 2 3. But one thing, Leena, is there that though I take advices from 5 6 of my mentors whom I look up to, finally I go only with my intuition and heart. So
Right.
not that I randomly take business decision. I do consult my coaches, and I have good amount of coaches, and whoever is expert in that particular field. But recently, last week only, one coach who is very senior in the industry, which I was looking for an advice, he gave me an advice, and I did exactly opposite. So I don't blindly follow the advice. I follow my heart and my intuition, and that's what I've always done.
Right, right. So in Marathi, there's a saying that ऐकावे जनाचे आणि करावे मनाचे.
Yes.
It means you listen to the world, whatever they have to say, and then you do what your heart tells you to do, and your mind tells you to do.
And I'll find a way out that how to get that thing done the way I want to do, So, by getting the facts and figures ready, that why I'm wanting this. So
Right.
I just did 2-3 such examples. So I'm very happy I listened to myself and my heart. And I'm okay to go wrong, but this is what I want to do.
Yes. So you have built a trust within yourself, and you're okay with your decisions, whether they're right or wrong, irrespective.
Yes, absolutely.
Great. Namrata, thank you so much for sharing your experience with me and all those viewers who are going to watch this video. And I'm sure there's a lot of learning, and even I'm going to take my solo trip someday.
No, someday, now, just take and leave.
Yes, but the family was like, go with somebody, don't go alone. So even I do the same thing. I go in a travel and tour, book myself over there, and wherever they are going, I will go with them. So even if I'm alone, I have some people around, and it's a structured kind of a place, and my family is at peace. So
Yeah.
that is the mantra that I have devised for myself. So solo trip all on my own, I'm going to do it sometime soon. So
Yes.
thank you so much. God bless you.
Welcome.
Keep sharing, keep growing, and wishing you all the best, and all the startups whom you are supporting, wishing them also all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
If you are new to my channel, please subscribe and press the bell icon to get instant updates on my latest videos.